All right, so we're working on the rectangular coordinates, chapter lesson 2-3.1. And what we need to do here is, first of all, take the quiz for this lesson. So let's do that first. You can get to it either through quizzes and tests or through homework. I like to go through homework all the time, but some people can't find the quizzes when they get there, so just click on the quiz button, and we're doing this one right here. Remember, I have to get them all wrong, so I'm just going to press submit, and it'll tell me I've got them all wrong, which hopefully is okay. Remember, even if you get them all wrong, you can still take the quiz again for, and then you can have your credits too. Okay, so here we go. This is the first assignment of Unit 2. I hope you did okay on Unit 1. If you didn't, talk to me about what you can do to improve. Some of the questions in this homework are like the ones that folks struggled with in Unit 1 test. You should take the quiz for this lesson as a pre-quiz. Remember, the questions you get right on the quiz will lessen your work on the homework. Also, this is a long quiz. That means we are learning a lot this week. If you don't know how to do something on the pre-quiz, just skip it and go to the next question. All right, here we go. Question 2. Okay, this is the kind that people got wrong in the Unit 1 test. We've done these a number of times, but maybe if we keep on doing them, eventually people will figure out how to do it. You make a 3x3 grid, and make sure you add the fourth box down here. This is where the interest goes, $78,700. This is the rate. This is the principal, and this is the interest. Okay, remember, you multiply going across and add going down. 0.08, 0.11, and this box we don't need because going across here we already know how much the total interest was. Let's call this the amount, and 30,000 more than 4 times that amount, so 4 times that amount plus 30,000. We don't actually need this box either, since we aren't going to multiply anyway, but this box we'll just multiply going across, 0.08a, and this is 0.44a plus, oops, I gotta get my calculator. Plus 30,000 times 0.11 is 3,300 plus 3,300. Okay, and you add those two together, you get 0.52a plus 3,300. And remember, we're going to make these two equal to each other. So it'll be 0.52a plus 3,300 equals 78,700. Okay, let's subtract 3,300 from both sides. And we get 78,700, 75,400 equals 0.52a. These cancel. Divide both sides by 0.52. And we get 100. A is $145,000. So it'd be 145,000. And then we multiply that by 4. And then add 3,300. And we get $583,300. So let's enter that. 145,000 and 158,000, no, 150, what am I doing? 583,300. Uh-oh. Let's see here. Maybe I didn't multiply right. 145,000 times 4, 58,003. Oh, I see. I didn't get the 3 zeros here. 000. I don't know why that didn't. Okay, now it's right. I'm pretty sure. Let's see here. $145,000. What did I do wrong here? And oh, 30,000 more than. I see. I didn't get the right number here when I added it. It was 30,000 more than that. Okay. If that happens to you, make sure you redo your homework. Okay, next one. Solve the inequality. Give the solution set in both interval and graph forms. So we have 10k minus 3 over negative 7 is greater than 3. First thing we need to do is multiply both sides by negative 7. And that'll cancel those. And we have 10k minus 3 is greater than, is less than. Remember, when you multiply by a negative number, you have to switch the cents also. Negative 21, add 3 to both sides, and then you get 10k is less than negative 18. Divide both sides by 10, and you get k is less than negative 1.8. So you would do, the solution set will be parentheses, negative infinity, comma, negative 1.8, parentheses. So that's the way we're going to enter it. Parentheses, negative infinity, comma, negative 1.8, close parentheses, and then the graph is this one. All right. Number 3, now we get to the first one of this lesson, and we're supposed to plot negative 3, positive 1. So we go back 3, up 1, and that's where we put our point. All right. Number 5, complete the table for this equation. Okay, so y equals negative 2, so we substitute, instead of writing x, we write negative 2 plus 2. Negative 2 and 2 is 0, so y will be 0. Okay, now we do negative 1. Y equals negative 1 plus 2. Negative 1 and 2 is 1. So we would put 1 in here. And then try 0. Y equals 0 plus 2, which will be 0. 2. And then finally 1. Y equals 1 plus 2, which is 3. 2 plus 2, oh man, I guess y equals 2 plus 2, which is 4. Oops. And then graph that line. So -2, 0 is one of the points, and then -1, 1 is the next one. All right, number 6. Graph this line using intercepts. Okay, so how do you use intercepts? Remember that for intercepts, 5 times 0 plus 3y equals 15, so this cancels out. So if x is 0, y is 5. X is 0, y is 5. Then we do 5 times x plus 3 times 0 equals 15. So this will cancel, and then we'll get x, 5x is 15, which means x is 3. So if y is 0, x is 3, and there will be our line. So 5 and 3. All right, now we've got to graph a line, and the weird part is there's not 2 letters, and so we just know that y is -6. So here's a -6, here's a -6, here's a -6, here's a -6. Another way to think about is here's the y number line, and we're here at -6, and so all of these values are going to be on it. The other way to think about it is to think that if it's a y equals something, it'll be parallel to the x-axis. If y equals something, it's perpendicular to the y-axis. So if x equals something, it's perpendicular to the x-axis. Okay, you make your table of values, x, y, x is 0, y is 0. So the x-intercept means that y is 0. So if y is 0, x minus 4 equals 0. Add 4 to both sides, you get x is 4. So get x is 4. Then the y-intercept means that x is 0. What's y? 0 minus 4 equals 0. -4 equals 0. If you get something that's not true, then there is no intercept. So we would say none for this one. Now we're going to graph that line where x is -4, and just go straight up and down, because remember, if it's x equal to something, it's going to be perpendicular to the, I'm sorry, x is +4. What am I doing? X is +4. I was talking while I should have been thinking. Okay. Number 10, graph this line. When you have an equation like this one, 4x equals 3y, I think your best bet is to get the y all alone, and then you get y equals 4/3 x plus 0. Now, the plus 0 is important because that tells us that we're going to go through 0, and from there we're going to go up 4 over 3. So up 4 over 3, there's our second dot right there, and then just draw the line. So we're going to start at 0, 0, and from there go up 4, forward 3, and put in our line. Find the midpoint. In other words, we're going to find the average of 2 numbers here. Let's see how that works. Okay, -9 plus negative 7. So the average of these two divided by 2. Well, that's negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. Halfway between negative 9 and negative 7 is negative 8. Then halfway between 0 and 6, 0 plus 6 divided by 2 is 3. So our midpoint, if you graph those two lines, would be negative 8 and positive 3. Parentheses, negative 8 and positive 3. And the last one, find the midpoint here. $10 plus negative 3 divided by 2 is 7/2, and 5 plus 0 divided by 2 is 5/2. So it'd be 7/2, 5/2. So the midpoint is fraction 7/2 and then fraction 5/2. Okay, so if you have any questions, drop me a line. Talk to you later.